Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for WLBT Plus. My name is Kara Shirley. I'm your digital news desk host. It is Wednesday, March the 19th, and spring is, it's not officially here. It will be here this weekend, but the pollen everywhere is definitely making its mark. Let's put it that way. We are expecting a little bit of rain today, so we're going to be looking at our forecast, a very brief look at our forecast in just a little bit. So stick around here with me. If you're watching on our website, WLBT.com, or on our mobile app, thanks so much for tuning in through there. And if you're watching on our social streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, don't forget you can always join the conversation. You can leave a comment, thought, question, suggestion, anything like that in the comment section. As a matter of fact, if you're tuning in on any of our social streams right now, let me know where you're watching from. If you're from here in the Jackson area, in Brandon, Flowwood, Byram, the outside areas, or even farther away. We do have people tuning in from really all over the country from time to time. So let me know where you're watching from. I do enjoy getting to talk to you guys during the newscast. This interactive newscast is what I call it. I'm going to go ahead and take a look outside real quick using our Raymond Skycam. This one always kind of makes me a little nervous because it's really high up and I'm afraid of heights. But you can see where we do have clouds in the skies out there. So it's a rather cloudy day and a warm day as well, but still looking beautiful out there over Raymond right now. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the news. I'll let you know some things that are happening here in the Jackson area. Some stuff that is pretty well, it's pretty crazy to hear about. Let's see here. We got Miss Jean is tuning in from Maryland. Hi, Miss Jean. Jeannie is watching from Ruth, Mississippi. Tyrese, Ann Arbor, Michigan. Wow, you guys are way up there. Is it cold still there? Because it's a little warm here today. And Charity Brown is asking, do we need the suspect's name from the park shooting? If you know that name, Charity, which that's a story we're going to get to in just a little bit. If you know that name, pass it along to the Jackson Police Department. Or you can email us here, whichever. As well, let's go and talk about what something that happened this morning here in Jackson. A man has been arrested in Jackson for homicide. He's been charged with murder. So the incident happened on March the 5th. Jackson Police Department began investigating this homicide that happened in the 3300 block of Memphis Street. So if we go, let me pull it up full screen for you guys. Memphis Street, zoom in so you can see a little better. We have Livingston Road right here. Memphis Street is this area right here with the red flag, red dot, pin, whatever you're going to call it. Let's zoom out so you can see where it is in relation to downtown Jackson. Here's the downtown Jackson area approximately, and then Memphis Street is right here. So this happened on March the 5th. The JPD was investigating a homicide. Detectives learned that the victim, Avian Donaldson, had been shot at this location and was also pronounced deceased at the scene. Detectives have now arrested this man that I'm showing you on your screen right here, Jermaine Hillard, age 43. They have arrested him in connection with this case. And according to the Jackson Police Department, he has been charged with murder. So Jermaine Hillard, again, charged in the murder of Avian Donaldson, which happened on March the 5th in the 3300 block of Memphis Street. And a child here in Jackson has thankfully non-life-threatening injuries after accidentally shooting himself on Wednesday. So JPD Precinct Captain Julian Lonnie says that it happened at a home on Glen Mary Street near West Capitol Street. What happens, or what police believe happens here, is that a 4-year-old little boy got his parents' gun and accidentally shot himself in the leg. Again, is thankfully non-life-threatening injuries, and the little boy is being treated at a hospital and should recover fully. I'm not aware at this time if there are going to be any type of charges pending against the parents or anything like that. However, if if something like that were to happen, once that information is passed along to us, we will then pass it to you. Looking back at our comment section, Miss Louise Clark is tuning in from here in Jackson. We have Greenville, Mississippi, Carrie in Greenville, and Bernadician area for Brian. I'm not sure where that is, Brian. Let me know. Chanel is watching from Oklahoma. Wow, you guys, like I said, Chicago. You guys are all over the place. And then there's my Miss Sandra. I say my Miss Sandra. Miss Sandra is watching from Clinton today. Jennifer is tuning in from Summit. Appreciate all of you guys. Miss Sandra's asking how we're doing. Doing good, Miss Sandra. I hope that you're doing well as well. So let's go to down to Tylertown, who not only is still in the process of the massive cleanup efforts after the tornadoes that was ripped through the area this past weekend, but now Tylertown police are investigating extremely serious two-vehicle wreck that happened last night. So authorities say they received the call around 7:08 p.m. According to Chief Jordan Hill, the wreck happened at the intersection of Highway 98 and Highway 583. Actually, looking here, this video is from our Market Max Skycam down there in Tylertown, so you can see the wreck and the when they are trying to get. It's like a tow truck there trying to get one of the vehicles taken away. Unfortunately, someone did receive life-threatening injuries that happened to one of the drivers. So the chief said that Jalen Brown, age 20, was driving a 1992 Buick LeSabre south on Highway 583 when he attempted to cross Highway 98 west. His vehicle was struck on the driver's side by a 2017 Ford commercial motor vehicle. He did sustain life-threatening injuries, and he was airlifted to Forest General Hospital in Hattiesburg. The Ford truck, the commercial vehicle, was driven by Brian Warlock. He was age 48. He was the one traveling west on Highway 98 at the time of the collision. He was taken to Walthall General Hospital for treatment. So Chief Hill says preliminary reports are suggesting that Warlock was in the area assisting with cleanup efforts following the recent tornadoes in Tylertown when he was involved in the wreck. Our thoughts and our prayers are definitely going out to the families of both of those involved, especially the young man who did receive life-threatening injuries there. We'll continue to update you rather on the story as the information comes in to us. And Jackson Police Department has launched a death investigation after a man was found dead yesterday. So police say that James Butler III was found dead on Harrison Avenue. Investigators are asking if anyone has any information on this to please come forward. There's no reports from JPD on whether or not foul play is suspected in this, but they are just asking if you live in that area, if you have security cameras, Ring doorbell cameras, if you heard something, if you saw something, please pass that information along to the Jackson Police Department. So hopefully we can find out what happened to this individual. Again, his name is James Butler III, found dead yesterday on Harrison Avenue here in Jackson. And Jackson Police Department has also identified a man who was found dead in a burned car last November. So again, that was last November that this happened. JPD is saying that Malik Stuckey was found dead in that vehicle. This happened on Glen Aaron Street in November the 29th. Investigators also revealed that he was shot inside the burned car. So when they found his body, not only was his body burned, but it was later discovered that he had also been shot. It was in a 2009 Honda Accord. JPD is still working to try and identify these suspects. If you have any information on it, once again, please pass it along to JPD or to Crime Stoppers. Something crazy that happened at a local Jackson park yesterday following a fight that began on social media, began on Facebook. So Jackson police are saying that the incident, which happened at Jane Avenue Park, let me get this pulled up for you. Jane Avenue Park, which is in West Jackson. Investigators tell us that two women were arguing over a Facebook post. Uh, social media arguments, nobody is ever the winner in them, right? So one of the women is then accused of shooting into the other woman's vehicle. Thankfully, no one was hit. JPD says the shooter could face multiple charges, including shooting into an occupied vehicle and potentially aggravated assault. No word yet has been given to us on who the individuals were that were involved in this, that were shooting. I know someone said earlier, do we want to know the person's name? Pass that along to Jackson Police Department if you have that information, if they don't have that information. But anyway, Facebook fights, it's never that serious. Thankfully, no one was hurt in that shooting. And a Ridgeland homicide suspect had his day in court yesterday. Here he is on your screen. His name is Danquarius Best, age 23. He's being charged with first-degree murder in the shooting death of Autumn Shanks at the Pine Brook Apartments. So the shooting happened last month. This case is now going to be going before the grand jury. Police found the victim, Autumn, in the bedroom with a gunshot wound to her head. Bice had his preliminary hearing yesterday. Currently, his bond is set at $500,000. So we will continue to follow that case, especially as it goes before the grand jury, and update you on that. And we told you early in the week about a vehicle fire that happened on Stokes Robertson. And Jackson police are needing your help in finding a man that they believe to be tied to the homicide there on Stokes Robertson Road. So looking here at your screen again, the incident happened on March the 4th. Firefighters responded to a fully engulfed vehicle on the roadway. Authorities later learned that the person inside had been shot multiple times. Now, again, I told you a story about this, about a similar situation that happened back in November. This is a separate incident. Seems same type of situation, but it is a separate incident, not believed to be connected. So police say that a 2020 Honda Pilot was stolen from the K&J Food Mart on Raymond Road. They later determined that that was the same vehicle that was burned in the fire, and surveillance footage captured this possible, I want to enunciate that word, possible suspect. So if you have any information on him, where he may be, please contact Jackson Police Departments or Crime Stoppers, or even let him know, especially if he is not related to this case or involved in it in any way, to let him know to reach out to Jackson Police Department so he can clear him off of the possible suspect list. Again, that happened on March the 4th. The vehicle that was burned was a 2020 Honda Pilot, and they found that the person that was inside of the vehicle had been shot multiple times. I don't believe that person has been identified yet. They're having to send the body off to the state crime lab to get an identification on them. And if you are one of the many people who are, I say many people, one of the possible many people that has a medical cannabis card or doing business selling medical cannabis, well, here in the city of Jackson, the cost to do that business is going to be going up for the business owners. So Jackson City Council voted unanimously to adopt ordinances governing the growth, sale, and disposal of medical marijuana within the city limits. Businesses would be required to pay $1,000 for a privilege license with the city's Department of Planning and Development, and those licenses must be renewed every year for $1,000. Plans for future businesses must be approved by a committee and include odor and ventilation control to ensure sure that there is no excessive odor in this. So that happened at the during the Jackson City Council meeting earlier this week. Um, Charity Brown, I see where you're saying you're speaking of the shooting that happened in the park, saying that they had the kids with them too, charged the parents, all of them. Again, we don't have any information where we can verify that. Not saying that you're wrong, but we haven't been given any information from JPD on whether or not to verify that. If that is true, it's very sad and thankful, very thankful that nobody got injured, especially a child during that. Do you remember a few weeks ago? And it may have been just a couple of weeks ago. Time goes by so fast. But a few weeks ago, we told you about a sheriff's deputy in DeSoto County who risked his life to stop a driver who was going the wrong way on a busy highway. Well, he was honored yesterday. So the incident actually happened on March the 4th. That's around the time that we told you about it. So that was just a couple of weeks ago. I'm telling you, time goes by so fast. Well, Sergeant Brian Brock of the DeSoto County Sheriff's Department intentionally drove towards the car that was driving on the wrong way on I-269. He thankfully survived the crash that ultimately stopped the driver and likely saved several of their lives in the process. But yesterday, the county's Board of Supervisors honored Sergeant Brock. He told the board that he was just doing his job. That's what he says. He says, it was just doing my job when he made this split second decision. And he says that he would do it all over again if he had to.
Honestly, I wasn't scared. Not to sound cliche, but it was just work. I mean, that's who I am. I didn't want others to get harmed. So I just made a decision. Just try to protect others.
Love that. Love that. Putting himself in the line of danger to protect others. Seriously in the line of danger. You can see the wreck in images there in the video. So the wrong way driver, Tracy Balton, is now facing multiple charges, including DUI, fleeing, and aggravated assault on an officer. She is currently out of jail on bond. And yesterday at Millsaps, there was a Jackson mayoral forum. There was 13 candidates that are in the running for Jackson mayor attended that forum hosted by Millsaps. The candidates got to answer some of questions from you guys, a lot of questions actually, on how to move the city forward this upcoming municipal election. Many of them are hoping to convince you, Jackson City residents, convince you that they have what it takes to run the capital city. It's going to take a lot to run the capital city. That is for sure. So those on hand got to engage in some key topics of discussion. Many include Jackson's water crisis, mental illness, and bettering city and state relationships. Others attending say they wish to hear more about economic growth here in the city. Now, some of you tell us the city's top position should be filled with someone who meets all of the important qualifications. However, some in attendance say that they were not too impressed by the candidates' performance last night.
Few of them are really qualified to be mayor at this point, to take on this responsibility. And I was listening for their vision, hoping to hear a better plan for what we have in the future. Mayor is a tough, thankless job. And need somebody with experience and in government, not somebody who's brand new. We need somebody with a proven track record.
The party primaries are coming up on April the 1st. The general election is, of course, June the 3rd. And don't forget, you can watch all of the interviews that we did with the candidates on our website at wlbt.com. If you go to our website, and let me pull it up for you right here. If you go to our website, right across the top of the page, you will see where it says Jackson mayoral race. If you click on that, you're going to see all of the interviews that we did with majority of the candidates candidates. There were some that we were not able to interview or declined, but we did get a majority of the interviews, especially the ones who have been going to these different mayoral forums and things. So you can watch all of those there. The entire interviews, unedited, are there for you to watch. So WLBT.com, top of the page, Jackson mayoral race. Brian Brumfield says that they are doing more debating than campaigning, talking to each other than and about each other than to the people. That is that's a great observation there by Brian. Do I know if it's true, or can I say if it's true or not? No, but I can say you do have a right to your opinion, and that's a very big observation that you made there. Thanks for making the comment. Make sure you get out there, make your voice known on the 1st of April if you're a Jackson resident, and then again during the general election on June the 3rd. A lot of candidates, most of the candidates running are running under the Democratic ticket. And then there are 2 or 3 that are running under the independent ticket. I know we interviewed Kim Wade. Actually, I know there's 3 now. Kim Wade, Zach Service, and Rodney DePriest are the 3 independents. Now, they're not going to be in the April 1st election because independents do not have to be part of the primaries. They go straight to the general election. So you won't see those 3 on your ballot, but you will see the rest there. So make sure your voice is heard on April the 1st. Before we go any further with any more news that we have to bring to you, and we're going to talk to just a little bit, but we're going to talk in just a little bit about the JFK files getting released, give you a little bit of information on that. We're also going to be looking at the series that we're doing here on fighting the blight here in the city of Jackson. Before we do that, though, let's hear from our sponsor.
At Jackson Water, we are in the game and locked in on our goals. Every day, our dedicated teams are hard at work, ensuring that clean, reliable water flows to every home and business in Jackson. We are not just fixing pipes. We're investing in a brighter, more resilient future for our city. Jackson Water, water for all the time.
And again, thanks to Jackson Water for sponsoring WLBT Plus so that we can bring you the show every day at 1 o'clock. In addition to other things that we're doing here, bringing on some new shows, getting some new content, more content for you on our digital channel, as well as like the mayoral interviews that we did that you can go back and check out. Let's look at our forecast real quick, or look at the weather real quick, see what our temperatures are outside across the area, sitting in the mid to upper 70s. And I know the map is not yellow because of the pollen, but I'm going to pretend like it is, because the pollen out there is outrageous right now. It's messing with me pretty bad. So we're all sitting in the mid to upper 70s around the area. If we look at our radar, there's no rain in the area just yet, but we are expecting some rain. So we look at the next 12 hours, you can see we're around the 5 o'clock area. We're looking at it possibly 30% chance of rain. Those are going to be scattered showers. I hope that they scatter right over where my house is to wash away all of the pollen. And if we look at the next 7 days, you can see we do have a pretty nice weekend. For Friday and Saturday, we are looking at a 60% chance of rain on Sunday, possibly some thunderstorms, and then moving up into the upper 70s, almost 80 degrees into next week. Make sure you're here at 2:30 today so our First Alert weather team can go over the details of the forecast, get in depth with you, and let you know what we're looking at over the next little bit. So let's now look at the year-long series that we are doing here at WLBT regarding the blight here in Jackson.
Now, Fight the Blight, a year-long investigation from WLBT. 3 on your side.
I think we can all agree that the blight here in the capital city is something that is of concern to everyone. It really affects obviously not only the look of the city, but it also affects whether or not people want to come in. People want to come in and build on into the economy here in Jackson. If they want to live here in Jackson, it is a very important part of the process of fighting the blight and improving the look of Jackson is a very big part of the process of growing our capital city here. Well, the Community Foundation of Mississippi, it gives $1 million to transform, right, to the former Eudora, excuse me, that is, I did not mean to mispronounce her name, the former Eudora Wlbt Library into the Margaret Ann Krigler Park. So a donation to the Department of Archives and History Foundation for Mississippi is ridding the downtown city of vacant buildings. Excuse me, I can't even talk. I'm getting tongue-tied, twisted over the words here. So the why am I putting big words in front of myself to say? The philanthropic nonprofit gave the city money on behalf of the John and Lucy Shackelford Fund to improve and beautify the capital city. These renderings depict the transformation of the spaces. The Margaret Ann Krigler Park is designed to fight the blight here in Jackson, creating a green space between two museums and downtown. So this design includes a band shell for performances, children's playground, and a water feature and pavilion. Demolition is currently underway with completion scheduled for sometime around September.
The blight was described as a cancer. It starts small, but if you can catch it before it becomes something bigger, then you have an opportunity to really make a difference in the way people feel about their communities.
So construction again is slated for late 2026. The park is expected to open May 8th, 2027 during the Mississippi Makers Festival. That will be exciting to get to see. Now, if you have an area in your community here within the city limits of Jackson that you feel like is a blighted area, a blighted community, and is something that you would like us here at WLBT to shine a light on, if you go to our website at WLBT.com, look across the top of the page here, and you'll see where it says Fight the Blight. You click on that, and it's going to bring you to a form that you can fill out and send in to us, telling us about the eyesore, telling us your story, how it's affecting you, and just email it to us, and we will reach back out to you possibly to do a story on what it is you send us. Help us to fight the blight, to bring a light to these blighted areas within the city of Jackson so that hopefully we can make some positive change moving forward. So there was a new movement on tax reform discussions at the state capitol. That means that some of the taxes that you pay could change as early as this summer. So both the House and the Senate, it sounds like they're singing there. But both the House and the Senate debated and passed amended versions of a tax reform plan yesterday. The two plans both now include a path to a full elimination of the state income tax and an increased gas tax to help fund MDOT needs. There's still some differences within the two versions of the tax reform plan, including how to shore up the budget concerns for the state retirement system, PERS. So much of the Senate floor debate centered around PERS and the proposal of a fifth tier, meaning new state employees would have fewer guaranteed benefits.
Permanent revenue stream for PERS. And at the same time, where we're trying to figure out how to spend money to strengthen the retirement system, we are talking about eliminating 1/3 of the state budget. It doesn't make any sense at all.
So both chambers now say that they are better positioned to negotiate a compromise between the House and the Senate and hopefully get something in the works or in the books for a reduction of state income tax, as well as fixing or shoring up the PERS system. Now, let's talk about the JFK documents that were revealed. This is something that has been a topic of discussion between a lot of conspiracy theorists over the years since the assassination of JFK. I don't know what side of that I would fall on, because I am not. I don't have enough information. Let me put it that way. I don't know enough about it to have an opinion on it. Well, thousands of pages related to the investigation of President John F. Kennedy's assassination were released last night on Tuesday evening. And the Justice Department's National Security Division began unveiling 80,000 pages of unredacted files more than 60 years after President Kennedy was gunned down in Dallas. The files, which were posted on the National Archive website following an executive order by President Trump, he signed that on his fourth day in office. Within minutes of the release, thousands of documents that had been hidden from the public for decades appeared on the site. So it's not immediately clear if the documents contain any bombshell news or evidence to counter the conclusion that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. But I am sure there are several people out there that are digging through those documents right now. As a matter of fact, I have my late friend of mine, Ken Stokes, not Jackson's Ken Stokes. He's Meridian Ken Stokes. He was a JFK enthusiast. He is now passed away. So he knows the full story now, but I'm sure if he were still with us, he would be very excited about the release that happened here. Well, guys, that's going to be the end. Curtis Rogers here saying, don't forget they're going to be going up on car taxes, which is ridiculous. Curtis, I'm going to ask Courtney Ann Jackson about that. Courtney Ann is our resident capital guru, so to speak. And I'm going to ask her about that, if that is in there. See if it is. If it is true, I'll respond to your comment here and let you know about that. But that is going to be the end of WLVT Plus today. I'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock, 2:30 today. The First Alert Weather Team will be here to give that in-depth look at your forecast. I hope you join them then, and I hope you join me tomorrow at 1. Stock up on the Kleenex, stock up on the allergy medication, and I will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Bye, y'all.